Out of all of James Cameron's back catalogue of blockbusters, I've always felt The Abyss to be a bit underappreciated. Sure, the visual effects were a milestone in movie making, but underneath all of that is a thought-provoking sci-fi that's as deep as the depths the story takes you. In 1998, a year shy of its 10th anniversary, a little-known developer by the name of SoundSource Interactive took that aging IP and created a somewhat forgotten first-person action-adventure. Set several years after the movie, the sea-like aliens are now working with the human scientists in the research facility known as Deep Core.
Sure glad I don't have to spend the next 8 hours in here.
Yeah, but I still don't know if I totally trust real-time decompression.
Contact has been lost, and it's up to you, as either Bud or Lindsay Brigman, to investigate. It turns out that a virus from Jupiter's moon, Europa, has been deforming all lifeform, alien and human alike. It's been turning them into violent Lovecraftian beasts. In essence, The Abyss is a survival horror. Navigate your way through the maze-like ship, collect keys, press buttons, and avoid encounters with the shuffling crew members. Is it just me, or is this sounding a lot like Resident Evil? You're never really adequately equipped to deal with the hostile forces, with your only offence being a stun gun with woefully little capacity. It can stun the creatures in 2 hits, but at first you can only carry a maximum of 3. On every floor there is a small number of recharge stations that can replenish the weapon, but you'll almost certainly have to master the skill of dodging these zombie-like creatures. This is not always difficult, but it's not that easy either, thanks to the keyboard-only controls and slow turning speed. The more you play though, the more you'll quickly learn their limited actions and their AI. When in sight, they'll take their sweet time meandering towards you. If there are any obstacles blocking them, they will either get stuck behind it, or find a simple alternative route. Keep moving, as any door with a step, which is most of them, will keep them there. Though be careful, as they will often lurk outside your only exit, blocking your path. And if you have already used 2 shots out of your 3, you'll be stuck there or risk rushing past them and taking damage. There are a number of single-use first aid kits scattered around, which will refill your health bar located on the top left. You also have an air bar on the top right, which is used when diving underwater. At the bottom you can see your inventory. This can be scrolled left and right using the square bracket keys. To the left of this is your life scanner. Whenever another life form is near, the gauge will increase, accompanied by a grating static sound that I must admit was rather useful. On the far right is a log of conversations you've had over comms. Press P to repeat the last one and cycle through them with the semicolon and comma keys.
The Universal Translator was the NTI's first offering in our Technology Exchange program.
These lines of dialogue are fun, but they are few and far between, making much of your adventure a solitary one. But if anything, they do give both players, Bud and Lindsay, a personality and character.
No time for working out now. You were always one to show off.
Depending on who you choose, they will swap roles, one being the protagonist and the other being your communications guide. They have some nice banter too, including one that reminds me of a lack of an exercise regimen.
You were always one to show off. No time for working out now.
Most of the sparse story is garnered from these moments, although you can find some depressing VHS tapes in the rec room.
What we know so far is this virus. That's the only Earth word that comes close to describing it. This virus is intelligent. It's also very adaptable and it's working fast. We haven't quite figured out what it's doing, but we do know that it mutates almost any biological organism that it touches.
While I like the idea of exploration, enemy dodging, and weapon resource management, this all goes out of the window by the second level. There are some basic tile puzzles here and there, but the main feature is corridors, hallways, and more corridors. Everything looks the same here, and there's a vast amount of square mileage to cover. After almost an hour of play, I got so lost that I ventured into the very little online information this game has in search of a map. And let me tell you, that map looks like a psychedelic cross between a Pollack splatter painting and a kaleidoscopic Rorschach test. How any new players are supposed to find their way around is anyone's guess. Sadly, there is no in-game map, which would have alleviated the majority of the game's design problems. We may be in the middle of the Great Pause, but time still ticks, and after looking at that map, I gave up trying to get any further. The Abyss Incident at Europa is an interesting title stymied by undercooked design, graphics that were 5 years old even at the time, and a thoughtless plot that obviously tried to cash in on Resident Evil's success. It's a far cry from James Cameron's captivating sci-fi. Thank you all for watching. If you fancy diving into the Abyss yourself, head to our website below and find out how to get it working on Windows 10. Please like, share, subscribe and ring that bell to be notified of new videos, and I'll see you next time on The Collection Chamber.